welcome to the Fireside Chat. I'm Kalpana Singhal, Editor-in-Chief CXO TV, and today we have Praveen Sawant, Group CTO, MullenLowe Lintas Group, as our guest today. Praveen is an experienced IT professional with nearly 30 years of work experience, wherein he has worked across various sectors in companies like Lintas Group, Star India, Godrej Industries Limited, Malarpur Industries, Gulf Oil, and CCI Limited. His experience includes driving organization-wide technology initiatives along with business functions. Praveen has previously held senior positions at Star Group as VP IT and with Godrej Industries as General Manager IT. His major Asia Pacific project initiatives include broadcast management, that is ERP system, SAP ERP, intellectual property management, PeopleSoft, HRMS, collaboration platforms, and mobility. Additionally, some of his prior assignments include e-business initiatives, supply chain management, and setting up a dot-com venture. In recent times, Praveen has embarked upon these strategic initiatives using artificial intelligence and blockchain for business critical areas. Praveen holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering with post-graduation in systems. He holds a master's degree in finance from Mumbai University. Additionally, Praveen is an alumni of IIM Bangalore, India, and MIT Solans, Boston, USA. Praveen currently works as Group Chief Technology Officer with MullenLowe Lintas Group, part of MullenLowe Group Worldwide and the global advertising major Interpublic Group IPG. For IPG, Praveen also leads the Federated Network in India across the group, hosting key competencies. Recipient of reputed industry awards and honors, Praveen is an active participant in various industry forums like CII and regularly contributes in leading technology publications. Welcome, Praveen. Our first question is, what are your roles and responsibilities as Group CTO of Lintas?
Yeah, thank you, Kalpana. So basically, I think many of the audiences would have heard of Lintas at some point or other. Okay, we are credited with some of the most iconic advertising communication in India. So Lowe Lintas in India is a part of global MullenLowe Lintas Group, or rather MullenLowe Group, which in turn is a part of Interpublic Group or IPG, which is amongst world's three largest advertising majors. Now both IPG as well as MLG, they have a very strong emphasis on technology. So be it best in class technology solutions in terms of the ERPs of the world or the infrastructure layer or the security practices. So therefore technology does play a very important role as far as MullenLowe Group or IPG is concerned. So I look after geographically all of India operations and Sri Lanka. Apart from that, IPG also has federated IT for the core infrastructure. So I lead the federation for IPG in India. And along the way, in last few years, we have also set up a center of competency in India, where we try and present India advantage in niche skills, which we, where we do some work for IPG globally. So in a nutshell, Kalpana, it's from one of, if I have to define my responsibilities, runs right from maintaining efficient IT operations across India and the group, and then to presenting IT advantage, and at the same time taking very niche business systems initiative with my business colleagues.
Okay, so how has been your journey so far?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. It helps me to also reflect. So it's been a long journey and rather interesting one. I think I'm close to completing 11 years with the group now. Okay, by far the longest stint. I would like to think that when I look at it now in hindsight, I think I was at the right place at the right time. Okay, when I joined way back in 2009, at that time, of course, the perspective about IT was slightly different. IT was not actually information technology, but it was more of ignorance tolerated, as they say. Okay, because people would only look at IT for desktops, laptops, connectivity. That's about it. Nothing more was expected from them. So slowly, we took some steps whereby we could establish some bit of credibility. So we started with a very simple step of creating an intranet. It was created on Microsoft SharePoint. It went on to become a global case study in Microsoft globally on their platform. So then we started introducing some transactions, automating certain things, all aggregating on the internet. So thereby gaining some confidence, some interest with users. Now, along the way, IPG embarked upon three major initiatives in India. They completely revamped the ACP backbone with a customized template called Vantage. They also did introduce PeopleSoft for our HR and ADP for the payroll. Now, for all these large applications to succeed, because India has about 4,500 employees, so there has to be a very strong, redundant core infrastructure. So we rationalized the network. So they formed the federation. I got to handle the federation. So that was the next milestone in the journey. When we formed the federation, obviously we learned a lot. We got to know about a lot of things which are on a very large scale. We had a good partner in Tata Communications. After the federation was formed, we extended the services of federation by setting up competency center. So BizTalk, PeopleSoft HRMS, help desk, or also even some security niche skills were formed. Okay, and once that stabilized, of course, there is more and more activity which keeps happening. Along the way came the cloud journey about 3 years back, and now we are also looking at taking it forward by experimenting with new technology. So if I have to again summarize, the journey has been from being part of a business support function to be part of the team which is business enabler.
That's quite interesting. Okay, what is the operating business model of Lintas and how all does technology drive this business?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. Okay, let me try and articulate. So, as you know, some of our famous creative ads, for decades, even when I was a young child, I recall ads like Lalita ji, "Sarf ki kharidari mein hi samajhdari hai," or you talk of, even before that, the famous Leary lad of a waterfall, and a girl taking bath under a waterfall, or if you come to recent past, Daag Achhe Hai, or What an Idea, Sarji. These are all Lintas's creations. Okay. Now, these are all creative products, right? So what you see is the end product, whether it is a TV commercial campaign or a print ad or some catchy line. But there is a huge amount of creative effort which goes in creating those campaigns. Okay, there is a creativity, there is market research, there is planning, there is servicing which interacts with clients and understands what exactly is the issue. And there's a lot of market insight which is worked upon. I'll just give one example. I think it was year 2010 when there was a campaign by Bajaj Discover India. So the theme line was "Ek liter mein India ki khoj." Okay. So there I'll give one instance. They had talked about there is a village in Bangalore which is called Matur. Okay. In that village, everybody speaks only in Sanskrit. Okay. So they have utilized that fact to create a very interesting advertisement. In 1 liter, you can rediscover India. So that was very hit. Now, if you look at these kind of efforts, they need a lot of collaboration. They need a lot of interpersonal interaction, working together for teams. So anything which the technology can do to facilitate that is important. So all our solutions have been built around primarily facilitating collaboration, of course, and digitization, automation also. I will take a very simple example. In 2019, last year, we moved into a very vast facility in Mumbai, where we are hosting 600 employees on one single floor. Now, this office is completely unique in the way it is designed. It is totally agile. So there are no fixed seats. There are not even fixed cabins. So everybody, right from the senior most person to the person who's in the support activity, everybody gets to sit with somebody else each day. Okay, even the way the meeting rooms are designed, they're not typical meeting rooms. They are multi-capacity. There are some meeting rooms which are for stand-up meetings. There are some meeting rooms where we have deployed swings. There are some meeting rooms where you can simply sit, relax, and do ideation. Now, where does technology come in all this? So we made sure that all this facility is covered with state-of-the-art technology in terms of connectivity, in terms of booking the meeting rooms. Also, you can do it on your mobile, and making sure that everything is completely seamless. So the users have no issue in terms of even if they want to talk to our Bangalore office or Gurgaon office from each room, it is enabled where they can have a team or a video conference and so on and so forth. So that's one example. Now, apart from this core creativity which I talked about, I'll also like to elaborate a little bit upon there are certain niche business models. PR, for example, I'm sure a lot of people would be aware that Golin Opinion is our very prominent PR division. They do an excellent work across. Now, there, again, I would give more credit to the business teams. People like Amir, who heads Golin Opinion. He was very keen in completely automating the newsprint coverage for his client using the solution. So we had actually used an automated, there was an AI engine built where the newsprint would actually collate the articles. It will read, decipher using OCR engine, and then they will create the excerpts and send it to client directly. They also have Bridge, which is a state-of-the-art monitoring tool. Okay, that's one example. Our another interesting division is the experiential marketing or activation. Activation is where you reach out of the into different areas geographically quite challenging. That activation business is headed by Sriharsh, who's again extremely technology savvy. So they have an end-to-end technology stack, which is very popular with clients like Castrol. And so technology does play a role. Again, it is depending on the business needs. We have a brand solution called VoiceX. It is a voice enabling of brands. Voice is the new concept used very well by Tata Motors. So again, if you see, even in terms of customer delivery and customer engagement, technology does play a role. So it is used very well. I will give more credit to the business of mine. And last but not the least, even in the pandemic, there have been campaigns made for Mumbai Police, BMC, by Lintas. And also there is a project which is very interesting. It is called Kam Vapsi. Okay, so it's an aggregation portal where prospective employers can reach out to people who are job seekers. So we help people come together. Okay, it's called Kam Vapsi. So even there is a bit of technology, because there is a portal. So all in all, behind all the creative output which you see and which you see, yeah, technology does have a little bit of role.
So if you can elaborate a little more that which are these key technology solutions, that are being used by Lintas and along with their use cases, like, and also if you can name the
Yeah.
partners, who are actually helping you implement these technologies. If you can
Sure.
read those, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be happy to. So like I said, for us, our biggest assets are our employees. Okay, because we are a creative business, we are a servicing business, so employees are our biggest strength. So all our employee engagement processes are digitized, automated. So whether it is, if we want to make a requisition for a new hire, or whether the employee is joining, coming on board, his first engagement, then leave, time and attendance. So most of the employee related processes are completely automated. Now these are again built in house. Okay, these are built on, again, we use our intranet portal to present it. So it's on a MOS, Microsoft platform. Okay.
Okay.
After employees, next comes the creative assets which we talked about, whether it is Discover India, whether it is What an Idea Surgery. All these assets are huge in terms of their value, in terms of, for the client as well as for us, in terms of the research and effort which has gone into it. So we have used, we call them as Vault. So whether it is TV commercial or print ads or images, we have completely secured way and stored them. I'll talk more about it when we talk of some of the new technologies also, but that comes as the next. Operationally, we are on SAP. It's a templatized version of SAP, which is called Vantage. For our HR activities, we use PeopleSoft or now Oracle's HRMS. Payroll is on ADP. Now these applications all are hosted globally, and in India we have, like I talked about, the infrastructure layer. We are on a Tata Communications federated network, which helps us navigate all these systems. Now, once we talked about these transactional systems, it's also important to have some kind of intelligence coming out of it. So we have deployed business intelligence tool. Now, this business intelligence tool again is, a lot of credit will go to our CFO, who sat in terms of designing what should be the output, what are the key parameters. So we not only have a dashboard which can be accessed anytime, anywhere, we are also generating alerts. Okay, we are also generating alerts and sending them to different teams so that it helps in keeping track of where we're supposed to be. This is the budget, this is actual, this is the target, and so on and so forth. So that way, there are different aspects, different layers of business operations which are touched by technology. On our communication side, we are completely on Office 365. So we use the entire O365 suite in a big way. So that's in a summary, in terms of the technologies currently we are using.
Right. And what were the reasons for Linda's migrating to cloud, and what the main challenges, faced in transitioning to the cloud?
Yeah,
And also
so that's
benefits also, that accrued as a result of this cloud migration.
yeah, I think that's a very deep question. So I'll try and take it in parts. So let me first start with trying to think about why did we decide on cloud. Okay, so Kalpana, our journey for cloud started about 3 to 4 years back, and there were multiple reasons. As I talked about, when I mentioned these campaigns, the images or TV series, if you see, these are all high volume assets. Okay, so if I talk of one image, its size will be in multiple MBs. If I talk of a TV, it will be in MBs. Now, if that data is dispersed, it is lying in different PCs, desktops, or MacBooks, or hard drives, it's very difficult for us to keep track of it. Okay. Also, sometimes the data security is essential. Not sometimes actually. Always, data security is important. And having said that, if we do not know how the data is, where it is exactly lying, and how do we keep track of it, it is very difficult for us to ensure that it is secure. That is second. Availability of data when needed, that's also very important. Having said that, there is also a very ignored aspect related to data, okay, which is the cost of handling data. Okay, it's like a cost of your travel. Most organizations tend to think that travel is free. However, it is costing you something. Like data, when it is dispersed and when you have to rework or when you have to use it and it is not secured, it is actually costing you a lot. So when we looked at trying to address all these points, also the latest, the compliance related needs, like GDPR or for a data privacy bill and so on and so forth, we had to do something to make sure that the data is handled in a very systematic way as per the policy. So while doing that, we also have to make sure that we don't end up spending much more than what we were spending before. So when we looked at that, the only solution which seemed to tick all the boxes, whether data will be available, the way the data will be secure, and whether the processes can be efficient, and at the same time, the costs would be optimal, then cloud would be ahead. So that's how we decided that we will move for cloud. Okay, so that is part one. Second, of course, you asked a very relevant question. What were the challenges? So the challenges were many, and the biggest challenge was, of course, handling the mindset. Okay, for users who are traditionally used to working, I would say, in the comfort of having all the data required on their desktops. So there is no dependency on any other thing and working that way. So there is a mindset change where we have to convince them that there is a benefit in showing it somewhere else, and also that it is available. Having said that, there are practical challenges, because we are saying this data will be available anytime and from anywhere. So which means even if somebody is trying to access it from his residence, the performance should be equally satisfactory. There again, the last mile connectivity comes into play. Okay, the local network and so on and so forth. So there is, of course, it's not something which we could do as a diktat, or this is mandatory or something like that. It had evolved where we had to go into this, had to talk to user groups, understand the problem, sometimes tweak the design, the way we have approached this entire cloud usage, modify it a little bit, and also then gradually get them engaged and then take it forward. Of course, another aspect of cloud is availability of solution for new technologies, which we have leveraged. That also came handy when we are looking at experimenting on new technology, where it helps to use the subscription model. Okay, I'll of course it's a little bit when we talk of new technologies, and so there were these challenges, but thankfully our users have been good. They have been collaborative. They have been approachable. Though they faced problem, they themselves became champions of this. So the journey has been satisfactory. Now coming to the last part of your question, what are the advantages? Maybe if you had asked me this question 6 months back, I would have probably had to think through a little bit and reply. But now, given the pandemic scenario and the work from home, I can say with reasonable conviction that because we were on cloud, because our entire communication platform was on cloud, we were able to migrate seamlessly to work from home. Okay, we had hardly about 2 3 days as a notice when we decided that we would start working from home. And mind you, we have offices across India, thousands of employees. So making sure that they are seamlessly moving to working from home, we leverage Microsoft Teams, which is a cloud solution, collaborative platform. So Kalpana, in the lockdown, we have had close to about 50,000 MS Teams meetings, which are obviously on cloud, which means that effectively Microsoft Teams has been used as our virtual office. And of course, there are some limitations of meetings of but in person, but people have adapted to the new ways of working. So that I think is a very huge, significant, real advantage which I see. Apart from that, of course, when we talked earlier about sharing files, so the files would have huge attachments. They will get mailed to multiple people, and then it will again move to and fro. Instead of that, what we have done is we've used Ignite, where there are folders for the files which you need to share. So and access rights are defined. So people can keep the files on the folder, and the others can view, edit, etc. And there is a trail. So that way, it's much more efficient ways of working. So of course, these are the benefits. Apart from, of course, the benefits which we have by leveraging new technology solutions which are available on cloud. So I hope this covers your point.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. 65,000 meetings you have done so far. It's quite a good number.
50, yeah, 50, yeah, 50,000, but yeah, it's growing by the day.
So that's a nice ROI. And okay, so how are newer technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, NLP, analytics, and of course blockchain being used in Lintas, especially in the current situation?
Yeah, so again, I would like to start telling you that one of these famous ads are known to everybody. Like the What an Idea, Sergi, the time it was being aired in 2010-11, not many people would know that Low Lintas was a Gartner Group case study for mobility initiative. Our case was presented in the Gartner Symposium in Mumbai. Okay, so our business management has always been keen in using or trying out technology. At the same time, we've never looked at deploying technology for the sake of, there is a new technology, let me try and play with it. We have tried to look at business cases. Again, I talked about the federated network. So it has about 60 links, which connects 26 offices and 4,500 employees all over India. Now, this is the backbone of our entire operation. If one link is down, it means that particular office is having difficulty. So we have to make sure that the links are up most of the time, all the time. Though practically, it can never be the case, because practically there is bound to be some physical issue. There is going to be a fiber cut. There is going to be some electrical failure, and so on and so forth. So what we had done is we had actually automated the process of getting alerts whenever there is a performance issue with the link. Despite that, from the time we receive the alert till the time we generate ticket with the Tatacom, and then a response is generated, somebody starts resolution, it used to take hours. So we have used the AI engine to completely automate the process of from the time the alert is received to the time, the ticket generation process, and also allocation for resolution. So our process of generating first response, that time is reduced by close to 85%. Okay, and the process of starting the resolution has been reduced. The time taken to start that has reduced by 62%. So if you look at that, even if it means that there is a 0.5% increase or 1% increase in uptime, for us it's a huge benefit. So that's one use case for AI. Another one which I would like to talk about is machine learning capability. Okay, now machine learning we have used in multiple cases, but one prominent case is our creative assets. I talked about campaigns and print campaigns. So if you see one print ad, behind it are at least 200 images which are taken, photographs. Now these are stored. Okay, now you may see one ad of a Kajol or a Salman Khan with somebody and endorsing the product. But then for the shoot, there are so many hundreds of images which are taken. Those are stored somewhere. Now, how do we leverage those, repurpose them, or for whatever use? So, if you want to repurpose, leverage, or search them, it had to be tagged. Now, you multiply these in a campaign, say about 100 to 200. By number of campaigns we do in a year, it goes into thousands. So, manually to tag it is going to be a humongous task. So what we did was we actually utilized the machine learning capability of computer vision. So there are APIs. Again, we use Azure platform here, just so that I share the platform name. So what the engine does is the machine reads the image and automatically generates tag. Okay, so initially we have a supervised machine learning. So somebody also corrects, edits, and adds something, and then he automatically populates it in the database. The beauty of it is the more number of ads that it will go through, more number of pictures that it will kind of evaluate, it will become more and more intelligence. That intelligence becomes our advantage. Again, then there are APIs coming. There are emotion APIs where it can even capture if somebody is smiling, angry. So that adds to the searchability, and when we are trying to pick up a particular image. Then there are event APIs, so they will capture Mela Monday, whether it is a bazaar or it is an airport or it's a sports field. So that gives us more and more fine search ability, and which will obviously help us to repurpose. Okay. We talked, I think we mentioned about NLP also. We have used the chatbot to take feedback from employees in the first few months of joining. Okay, in the first 6 months, so that we know how is their early days in the company. If there is any corrective step to be taken, so they utilize that. Having said that, I will also talk about something which is not very common, that is blockchain. Now, blockchain has been synonymous for cryptocurrency, bitcoins, and all those kind of usage. We feel in Lintas that blockchain has a lot of potential for industrial applications also. So what we've done is when I talked about those interactions with clients, our teams, so these TV commercials creation or these high value creative outputs which gets created, there is a complete interaction between our clients, our internal teams, and also our partners. So we are deploying blockchain where this entire communication becomes seamless, transparent, and we're using the non-repudiation capability of blockchain, so that there is a blockchain key which is generated. So we see that as a significant advantage in days to come as the usage settles, but we are quite bullish on that. So these are some of the new technologies we have looked at.
So who is your partner for the blockchain implementation?
So we have worked with on Microsoft Azure platform again, and our partner is Prosaris Technologies. Okay, they are the Microsoft Gold partner.
Right. All right. And how does technology help in statutory compliance like GDPR and data protection bill?
Yeah, I think that's an important point. Again, this is something which is, anyways, gaining more and more prominence. Even in India, we are expecting there will be some clarity on the bill which is on the table. So because we are MNC, because we also have global clients, so we have to be always ready and compliant. So I talked about the Ignite folder structure. So in the Ignite folder structure on the cloud, what happens is whatever data is stored is encrypted. Okay, we have a data classification policy. Now these folders, we have predefined access rights. Who will have right to read, who will have right to edit, read and write access. Now that is how the accesses are given. So how do we audit that only those who have been given access have actually used it? So there is a possibility to generate a report who's actually used it in last 3 months, last 6 months, etc. So when it is being audited, the auditor can verify, okay, the access rights were granted by the competent authority, they were accessed by the person who's supposed to access it, and the data is encrypted. So that way, I think we take care of the compliance part.
According to you, what are the attributes of a successful CTO?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Okay, I think the most important, of course, is leadership skills. Okay, you ought to know your team because any leader is only as good as his team is. Fortunately, I have been blessed with a great team who've been with me through this journey. This entire 10, 11 years, the entire team has remained, and they have also obviously, uh, progressed. They've developed. So that's one. For that also, one aspect which is not mentioned or highlighted enough is emotional intelligence. So one has to have that empathy. One has to have understanding of how certain things are expressed, what is exactly mean. So that is required. Third, I would say is communication skill. Because though no school, no management school, no engineering school teaches you how to communicate, I think that's a very important skill to imbibe. Because if you may have a great idea, but if you are not able to communicate it with the business teams, it's very difficult to get their concurrence. If you're talking to finance community, if you're not able to understand and communicate the cost sensitivity and importance, that communication will never be complete. Or if you're talking to a senior business guy, if you do not um, express the sensitivity, the business needs, I think it will be very difficult. And likewise, even when you communicate with your own team, uh, there has to be the sense of empathy. So, though communication skill also to me is very important, of course, and also equally important because you're specifically asking about these are general for any leadership, I would say. But for CTO, I think we often have a tendency to get too much engrossed into and excited about technology part. But I think that it always helps to have some interest, understanding about the business, about the imperatives, what business is doing, how we can support, how we can contribute, and of course, willingness to learn. Okay, that again is generic, it will run across. But I personally feel that's very important. We lay a lot of focus on using LinkedIn Learning in Lintas. We've given it away, given it to all our employees. I personally try and follow that. I've been always keen to know what I don't know, so that has helped me a lot.
So, and our last question is, can you name a person who has had a tremendous impact on you as a leader? Maybe someone who has been a mentor to you. Why and how did this person impacted your life?
Again, that's a tough question, Kalpana, because I've worked for 30 years, so a lot of people have actually shaped me the way I am today. But I would still want to mention the overall how I look at it. I think the first person I recall is there is one gentleman S.K. Bhatt. He emphasized the importance of learning on me. So he was very senior to me, and we were co-executive participants in our master's program. So when I used to look at him, and when he used to do studies with a tremendous amount of seriousness, somewhere it used to inspire me. So I also wanted to put in so much effort. So that's one. I've been lucky to work with a lot of great leaders. When I work with Godrej, Star India, and even here. And also important part here is Kalpana. that when you face difficult times, when there are difficult projects which would are very likely to fail, or where it seems that they are definitely failing, that is the time when you are out of your comfort zone and you learn something from somebody who's working with you. It could be your co-worker or your boss or whatever. So again, when we did the federation project, it was very difficult. So we have a CTO for IPG, Tom Sivo. I learned a lot from him. Okay, again, so that is one part. Then again, if I have to talk of some of my recent learnings also, my current boss, my CEO, Virat, I learned from him, when he looks at how to make Linta's future ready. So I try and pick up, that kind of understanding. When I talk to our CFO, Vivek Kamath. So, there is a very different perspective about, cost management, which he shares. It's a learning for me. So I try and think that way, in a limited sense to IT, but we try and see, and we see the results there. Again, we have a global CIO, Veronica. So the way she articulates the IT vision for the Mullenlow Group, and then we work backwards. That is something which I try and learn from, emulate. So that's the way I look at it, and I'm still learning. I learn from my team as well.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so that was the last question, Praveen, and I want to thank you. It was a complete pleasure interacting with you and appreciate your time. All right, thank you everyone for joining us today. Stay tuned to our social media channel. Stay safe and take care.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.